Hey everybody, how's it going? So today I'm going to talk about one thing that people always ask me about, and that's how to make their videos look better. And one way to go about it is color correcting. And it's the one thing that a lot of people don't know about, and they just kind of tend with their own color profiles that are already in camera and bake it in, or they leave it flat. And even though the flat look is sort of like in style right now, you can make that flat profile and turn it into something super amazing. And this works with any profile, whether it be flat, or if your profile is desaturated, technicolor, any baked in ones from any of the camera companies. I always tell them that they should try to find a camera that shoots 24p. Most cameras shoot 24p, and that usually is a good step in the right direction to get something more cinematic looking. If you can't get a camera like that, don't worry about it. It's okay. You can make any type of footage cinematic, whether it be 60p, 30p, 120 frames per second. There's lots of different ways to do it. If you really want to bring out the color in your footage when you bring it into post, software like Premiere Pro, Vegas, Davinci Resolve, even iMovie can do a lot of different stuff. Here I'm going to show you in Premiere Pro, but all these principles can be used in all the other software. You want to go to your color correcting section, which could be Lumetri or any of the other basic color corrections, and go to either basic, creative, RGB curves, and those are the three that you want to work with. I'll work from down to up. S-curves or RGB curves is basically this S-curve thing that you hear about all the time. What I usually do is I put a little point right in the middle for every single color, because you can go from whites, red, green, blue. Whites are usually the highlights. If you have things that are blown out or near to blown out, you can adjust things there. Reds, you can adjust anything that you see in the red section in your image, and then I usually hit in the middle, and then I go from top to bottom to bring in the curves, to bring in the color rather, that I want. And it's very, very finicky. Say it's from an even higher end camera, the more finicky it gets. But even with commercial cameras, you can really get nice and peculiar and finicky with it. Then if you want to go to creative kind of changes saturation and changes different things. You can add a LUT, but to me, LUTs are usually used at the end or for an end product of a video when you want to kind of either go fast or add a little bit of extra on top of what you've already done. And there's so many LUTs everywhere. But you're basically making your own LUT, and that goes to the basic section. When you go in the basic section, you can change exposure and all those different types of things. Exposure is very finicky, I find in Premiere, so you want to move it just a little bit, and then changing things back and forth a little bit and checking how much true to life or whatever you want to try to omit to create your wonderful image. So to rewind back, I would encourage you when you're actually shooting your footage to have a histogram. Be sure to expose to all the relevant highlights, so you can overexpose the highlights that you don't need, but make sure you keep everything and all those whites just below so that you can have all the information you need for those specific parts of the image, so you can take out the colors that you need. That's the benefit of having a digital camera nowadays. You can actually do that. And you can use that with the little exposure compensation button, which is a little plus and minus if you're really confused, and that really helps with getting to the right type of exposure that you need for your image. You can press plus and minus to get to the right thing that you need to get around. And be sure to lock that exposure. If you want to make things a little bit more cinematic, you can add some black bars inside the footage as well, which really gives it a little bit of an extra punch. So yeah, that's like the nitty-gritty of getting into doing coloring and helping your image get better. There's other sections in there like HLS secondary and the color wheels, and so many more things that you can definitely try out and see how that can also boost up your image and take it to the next level. So if you like this video, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and be sure to comment down below if you have any tips or questions for me. See you later. Bye. I always hate when I take a picture.